I love the way the First Gen Lounge makes me feel.
Because it creates a space where I belong.
Where we're able to create community.
The fact that it's a community.
It's a safe place.
It also gives me a place to understand different perspectives.
The stories of these individuals prescribe transformational perspective.
I receive encouragement, enlightenment, empowerment.
And also serve as a catalyst to just keep going.
Where we're able to be our true selves.
I'm allowed to be an unapologetic first gen.
And above all else, tell our story.
And every episode is unique.
I love it.
I'm your host, Dr. Eve, and I'd like to welcome you to the First Gen Lounge.
Hey, y'all. Welcome back. And if you are new, what up with it? A little something different today? Listen, I had actually done an interview recently, and I had told the person, I was like, I'm still black. Hey, but it is what it is. But what I want us to jump into today is that sometimes things are just going to fall apart, honey. It's just going to fall apart. It's like, well, how can you say that with so much enthusiasm? It's life, but really, it is life. And as I continue to evolve, one of the things that I have been more mindful of is not trying to avoid the bad things in life that are just going to happen regardless of what I do, because things are just going to happen, but learning to embrace these hardships and adversities and situations and open myself up to whatever it is that I need to learn through this time, while also reminding myself, like, yes, this is an uncomfortable time of my life. This is a painful time of my life. This is a time of my life that, like, oh gosh, I would rather, do without, but it's a necessary part of life. And as I was reflecting recently on many of the things that have been success for me and that I felt good about, I also took the time to look at things that have flopped or not worked out, that have not gone well, and to think about what I have learned from those things too. For example, there was one point where I had done a campaign with the shop, and the campaign was intended to be a fundraiser, but nobody purchased. Nobody purchased. So to be for real with you, I was like, well, damn, that was a flop. But what could I learn from this? Was it the timing? Was it the marketing? Did I give myself more time, in terms of like campaigning in itself? Did I have, different partners who could have helped with this? Like, what was this for me? So yes, it was a flop because evidently no funds were raised. You know what I'm saying? But the other thing for me was like, well, does this work for my business? And did I try it? And did I learn something from it? I absolutely did. I ain't gonna do it again. No, but for real. Okay, but I'm saying that, but I will, but I had to rethink, what does fundraiser look like for my business and my business model, and even in who I'm helping, right? So getting more targeted and more focused. And now that I'm doing fundraisers again, I have actually got three of this moment, 3 partners onboarded to fundraise with the shop. So again, right? What did I learn? How did I assess? Is more than a year later, right? But hey, we in there. And it is apparent that I did not give up, because I looked at this thing. I believed in what I was doing, right? You have to have an unwavering belief in what you're doing. So rather than quit, just try again and in another way. That's just one situation. Let me tell you about the First Generation Entrepreneur Association, bars. I didn't plan that. I really didn't, but it's how we do around here. I launched the First Generation Entrepreneur Association back in 2019 and had been trying 2019, 2020, 2021 to get this thing popping. And I ain't gonna sit here and lie. Shout out to anybody who has a membership, because again, it's so many things again to try. And one thing y'all probably know right now about Eve gonna try some stuff, because I want to see what works. I want to serve. I want to help. I want to empower, inspire, uplift. Yeah, I want to do all those things. But anyway, about the association, I have had several folks to enroll in it, more than a dozen. I will definitely say that. But I tried a one-on-one format. I tried a group mentoring format. I just make it an online course with digital resources. So even the association itself has definitely changed. And that came from the fact that so many people were reaching out wanting to do the picking of the braineth. And I'm like, well, I want to serve, I want to help, but I also am providing a service in this. And this would be the most reasonable way to go about it, but also to build community, because there are so many of us who are first-gen college grads and entrepreneurs and cultivating a space. You know, I'm all about community around here, but wanting to cultivate a space to also create the network and to build the wealth. So they had the vision, and the questions let me know that it was definitely something worth pursuing. That's what I'm definitely going to say. But then to get to a point where I'm like, all right, knock, knock, knock. Anybody there? Nobody's there. But the situation that really got me at one point, I decided to, again, try something different with the association. And I had a preview day. And I had about 15, 20 people to sign up for the preview day who actually attended. It was one person. And even with the follow-up emails, nobody converted. You know, nobody came into the program. And I'm like, I'm exhausted. Okay, maybe this thing just isn't a fit. It isn't right. And so what I ended up doing, again, is going back to saying, I'm just going to make this a digital space where I'm providing resources and tools that I'm using in my business to share. And then even change that to being a newsletter where I can send out information as well, and grants and all kinds of things. So ever evolving. And for me, the flop is kind of like, because again, I put it out there to serve, to help. And it's like, oh, no conversions. I got you. We don't want this. We just want to pick your brain. And I'm like, okay, well, what we gonna do is go ahead and sit this in the corner. I'll be back. I'll be back. We'll try again later. But right now, because it's so much time and energy in doing and showing up and being stretched in all the things. But I also want to fully acknowledge that I am ambitious. And so I may do one too many things sometimes, such that maybe scaling back is the far more reasonable thing to do. And that's something that I fully embrace. So I'm just gonna go on and say that too. But again, flop or not, when people aren't converting, again, buying whatever it is, showing up for it, like, yes, it can be incredibly frustrating. And yes, it may be floppy, but the question goes back to, then what can I learn from this? So rather than, oh, everything just fell apart and this isn't good. Hey, what can I learn from this? Is this even something I want to continue to do? Is it something that's, you know, again, worth the pursuit? Or what can I do different for the next time? And again, continuing to go forth. Now, who would have ever thought? Who would think? I mean, shit happens. But who would think that a giveaway would be a flop? But I have had this happen as well. What you mean, E? I don't recall the year it was, but for one of my birthdays, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get on IG Live and just, you know, give away some books and give away some of this and give away some of that and some coaching and blah, 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 blah. And I was pumped up about it, like really gassed myself up about it. Got on this live. I was on this live for probably about 5 minutes because I guess I wasn't talking about shit because people were leaving. But I was like, hey, I'm doing a giveaway, you know, and, you know, just for people who just showing up. Hey, welcome. If you want a book, go use this code. If you want this, go use this code. Like literally giving stuff away, and gave no giveaway away. Gave no giveaway away. And I'm like, what? It felt extremely embarrassing because here I was also totally out of my comfort zone, even doing an IG Live. And I'm like, well, okay. But it's like, damn, a giveaway flopped. Yes, y'all, a giveaway. And it was like, well, what did I do wrong with this? Why didn't people even want the stuff that I was giving away? But I'm like, all right, did I announce the giveaway? Did I publicize this more? And like looking back, like there were things that I did not do because I'm like, oh, you know, just pop up and pop off. But it's like, your people probably don't respond to that, Eve. You know, they are like yourself. They like to plan, like they like surprises, but you got to like kind of have a half surprise, like surprise me, but tell me you're going to surprise me at 9 o'clock kind of thing, right? But also what ended up being interesting about that, and I mean, laughing at it, hindsight, I had actually had a surprise virtual birthday party. So even me doing a live at 9 o'clock is probably part of the reason, again, people didn't show up, because they were in a different room and different space waiting to surprise me virtually. And here I was trying to be on IG, like, you know, all pumped up. But anyway, but again, would just feel like it was a flop, and to not have people show up to a live like that. And I don't even know how many people had come in and come out, but at the point of me saying, hey, it's kind of like I was just sitting there, right? Like, oh, this is awkward. Like, hey, I mean, I'm giving away some stuff, and if you want this code, like, log out, leave the live. I'm like, oh, need that. Oh, okay. But I can laugh at that now, and I share that openly because, yes, I have had and have many successes, and I'm very excited about those things, and I'm very proud about those things. But as much success as I've had, there have been things that have gone all wrong, or at least not according to what was planned. And that is okay. And it's always okay. Like, because again, life is a delicate balance, and the things that may not work out are an invitation for you to just look closer, and an invitation for you to grow. It's not because you're incapable. It's not because you're not supported. It's not even that you don't have great ideas, right? Sometimes there are external factors that you can't do anything about, right? That are going to perhaps I don't say get in the way, but perhaps be a challenge to whatever that thing is that you're trying to pursue. Now, as I say that, I'm also going to say that sometimes it just might be that you missed something, or that, you know, like you overlooked something that was like, oh, that should have been obvious, but maybe it wasn't. Maybe you haven't admitted to yourself that you don't have a particular skill to do something, but you're going to try to do it anyway because everybody else trying to do it. Maybe it is just something that you just don't know and you've rushed it, right? Things could be the case in so many other cases, but point being, sometimes things just gonna flop. It's just gonna happen. But rather than let the world fall apart, oh my gosh, you know, this went so wrong. Like, okay, this was an L. I can eat this because it has been an experience, and I have learned, and I'm going to go back to the drawing board. I will figure this out, because at the end of the day, just because something flops, my love, does not mean you have failed. And that's all I got. Know that I love you. I see you. I believe in you. And most importantly, I always want you to keep pressing forward. I'm out. Peace.